How's it going, dudes? With me today I have Money Card, an American Express travel game, which I fished out of an antique store somewhere, and am now making it your problem. Yes, in 1972, American Express made a board game and decided that a sightseeing trip across Europe would be the perfect setting, where players can experience all the pleasures of a real vacation, such as sightseeing, souvenir hunting, and gambling at Monte Carlo. To tackle this beast, I'll go ahead and tell you how the game's supposed to start, and then move through the instructional back of the box to get you through all of the details. We'll end up covering everything just a little bit out of order, but that adds a little spice to the mix, don't you think? You and your friends each start with $300 in traveler checks, or about $2,200 today. The aim of the game is to visit all 8 of the major European cities and collect their keys without running out of money. To start the game, decide on a banker, or the travel agent, here, and all players' starting positions are determined on what order they go in. To start your first turn, you collect the key from the city that you start in, spin the spinner, and then move any direction in order to end your turn. Fun fact, if you pass another player on your turn, you get to give them the real tourism experience by pickpocketing $20 from them. Also, if you land on another player's space, you displace them from their trip entirely and send them to what I believe American Express considers the least desirable location in all of Europe, Dublin, Ireland. If the spinner lands on the money card, the player can choose to move 1 to 5 spaces and also takes possession of the American Express money card, which I'll get back to. Starting from turn 2, a player will draw a card every time they land on a space, getting a miscellaneous card unless they land in one of the 4 countries with their own special piles, which are France, Spain, Italy, and Germany-Austria. Yes, they did lump Austria and Germany together, but specifically only Western Germany, as since this is a game from 1972, East Germany is completely inaccessible. A variety of situations can arise from the country cards, and here are a couple of them. Here's what you can get up to at any random point in time. An attractive blonde Swede has invited you to go to Stockholm. Go! Bought some genuine Russian caviar at capitalistic prices. That'll set you back $50. Discotheques in Europe are for swingers, danced all night, take 3 extra jumps, and that'll set you back $20. And you lost your traveler's checks. Well, you can get a full refund from American Express. So relax and go to the American Express office in the nearest key city. Do you want to know why I picked this card out of all of them? I'll give you 5.26 seconds to take a guess as to why. Time's up. It's because they spelled traveler's checks differently here than in any other point in the game. Now let's cover some of the antics you can get up to in the 4 main countries. There aren't many of them, so I picked out 1 or 2 of my favorites from each one. Italy first. In Italy, you can spend a romantic evening with another spaghetti bender that you met on the tour. In Spain, all the stores closed for a siesta from 12 to 4 p.m. Finally, at everyone's France, you did Paris at night with another heavy drinker, ooh la la, and you dined, danced, and saw a show at the Folie Bière in gay Paris. It sure is. Now let's take a look at how the game tries to be educational, for the kids. At the bottom of each country card is a sentence fragment in that card's native language and its English translation. Collect the right cards and you'll get the chance to move extra spaces, but only if you read the phrases out loud in both that language and its translation. First, let's start this adventure off by learning some of the beautiful Italian language. These are also phrases that American Express thinks that travelers should know the most. Starting off, parla lei inglese? Do you speak English? El migliore ristorante, the best restaurant. Voglio una guida, I want a guide, or dove una guida, where is the guide? Finally, the Italians can stop suffering after this. Questo è la strada, this is the road. Questo è troppo corto, this is too short. Questo è troppo caro. This is too expensive. Congratulations, now you know Italian. Let's go to a language I may butcher a little less. The beautiful language of Spain, also known as Spanish, as not to be confused with the language of Italy, Italianish. Buenas noches, good night, or buenos dias. Good morning. ¿Dónde está la película? Where is the movie? ¿Dónde está el castillo? Where is the castle? Quiero comer con usted. I want to eat with you. Or quiero hablar con usted. I want to speak with you. Quiero ver la película. I want to see the movie. Or quiero ver el castillo. I want to see the castle. Now you know Spanish. Next, we have the beautiful language of West German. Ich möchte essen. I'd like to eat. Ich möchte tanzen. I'd like to dance. Ich möchte schlafen. I'd like to sleep. Ich möchte etwas Zucker, bitte. I'd like some sugar, please. Wo ist ein Schneider? Bitte? Where is a tailor, please? Wo ist das Kino? Bitte? Where is the cinema, please? Kellner, das Salz, bitte? Waiter, the salt, please. Kellner, mehr Rotwein, bitte? Waiter, more red wine, please. And now the one I'm most excited to butcher. French. Parlez-vous anglais? Do you speak English? Bonjour, monsieur, mademoiselle, madame. Je voudrais manger. I want to eat. Je voudrais du café au lait. I want coffee with milk. Je voudrais un œuf poché. I want an egg poached. Je voudrais un œuf avec du jambon. I want an egg with ham. Now that that's over, let's take a look at the money card. The American Express money card holds an advantage of whenever you need to pay a fee, you can instead say, charge it, and you won't have to pay it. The American Express money card can be obtained by hitting it on the spinner or by getting it from mail from home, and can be used on any charge that isn't going to another player or bets in Monte Carlo. Players will get the chance to gamble their money away in Monte Carlo if they manage to draw one of these cards. They will be allowed to bet either $10 or $20 on the wheel, which turns into a game of roulette. The player will choose either red or black and declare what their bet is, then give the wheel a good hard spin and wait for the result. Darn you, darn you, darn you. Hey! If they are wrong, they lose the bet, their money, and are kicked out of Monte Carlo for being a failure. If they win, the wheel pays out based on the number it lands on. So, if you bet $20 and it lands on a 3, the wheel pays out at 3-to-1 odds, or $60. Hitting money card on the wheel pays out 5-to-1 if right, and even if you get it wrong, you still get to take the card. To reinforce the never quit while you're ahead saying, you can continue to bet at Monte Carlo as long as you are winning, but you must leave immediately the first time you lose. There is a way to get greater sums at Monte Carlo, but before that, we need to talk about debt. Yes, even in the wonderful Richie life of money card, your debts loom ever behind you. If they have insufficient funds, a desperate player can turn in the city keys that they have been collecting for cash to cover the debts, with each one carrying a $50 emergency value. And this is where we return to gambling. A player reduced to turning in a key may elect to try his luck at Monte Carlo before doing so. Yes, those helplessly lost in debt can peddle their few possessions away at the loving casinos who can offer them a way out of their predicament. It's the same process of calling your color and spinning the wheel, only now the stakes are much higher. For example, a correct call that hits a 5 at this point will see the key being returned to you along with a $250 payout, 2.5 times more than the max standard bet can get you, and you can keep gambling until you lose. However, a loss will see the key taken away from you, and you will be no closer to paying off your debt, missing out on the $50 key value that could have helped. Of course, anyone that doesn't gamble here is a big ol' bottle of weak sauce, so there's really only one option here. For the final section, let's check a couple of the last unexplored parts of the board. Express ports are marked by this symbol, and can be used to travel to any other express port when landed on. The perimeter occupies the outside of the board, and offers a quick one-way option to move around quickly. Mail from home cards can be drawn to showcase what your relatives are up to while you're away, like Aunt Matilda informing you that you forgot to stop the milk delivery and the front porch has now collapsed, requiring you to send $50 for repairs. Finally, we have the side trips, places you can get sent to from cards, and if after getting sent to Dublin, you are again displaced from that location. So I lied, there are actually 3 more spots that American Express deems worse than Dublin, Ireland. Those locations being the island of Crete in Greece, the island of Majorca in Spain, and Stockholm, Sweden. If you or someone you love lives in one of these locations, encourage them to get out now while they still can. And that brings together Money Card, an American Express travel game. If you or a friend has played this game before, comment below and let me know if you enjoyed it or not. And if you haven't played, let me know what you think of the game based on my description. I'm deathly curious. As per usual, the game scans are below for your reading pleasure. Finally, take this as your message to go out there and learn some West German. I've heard it's a beautiful language. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. A special thanks to my suppliers, and my staff patron, Benny Rush, and my first investor patron, Heinrich Schrodel. If you'd like to be like these heroes, you can use the link below to check it out. To tackle this beast, I'll go ahead and tell you how the game's supposed to start, and then move. You and your friends each start with 3,000. Also, if you land on another player's space, you displace them from their trip entirely and send them to what I believe American Express considers the least desirable. Gosh dang it. It's the same process of calling your color and spinning the wheel. I hate it here. Voglio dove untazi. What? Oh, gotcha. Oh, I read that wrong. I'm so sorry, Germany. Ich möchte. This is awful. This is terrible.